A big hello and a very warm welcome to HSBC Mutual Fund presents Informed Investing Season 2, partnered by ET Now. Today, we turn the spotlight to India's heartland, where investor potential is rising rapidly, but mutual fund adoption still has a very long road ahead. From Tier 2 to Tier 5 cities, we're witnessing a shift from traditional savings instruments like fixed deposits, gold, chit funds to modern goal-oriented solutions. With that, our theme for today, the rising market unlocking investor potential, as we explore how emerging cities are transitioning from traditional savings to informed, goal-based mutual fund investing. And joining me today is Kailash Kulkarni, CEO, HSBC Mutual Fund, Ram Kumar Barcha, CEO, Vikalp Finvest, Ashish Modani, founder, SLA FinServ, and Pradeep Kumar Jain, Director, PMPK Wealth. Gentlemen, thank you, all of you, and welcome to ET Now. Kailash, if I could start with you. We're talking about rising with India. In fact, that's our channel motto as well, Rise with India. When you talk about India, India is beyond what we see in a Mumbai, in a Delhi, in a Bangalore, right? There are Tier 2, 3, Tier 5 cities which have aspirational Indians. Give me a little bit color on what are the penetration levels so far, what is the kind of jump that you've seen, say, from last 5 years, and what could be the exponential reach in the next 5 to 10 years?
So, if I have to give you statistics,
yes,
we had something called T30 and B30, which SEBI defined, the top 30 cities and bottom 30 cities. In the last 4 to 5 years, the number of new clients added are coming from the bottom cities. The percentage of wealth being created in the bottom 30 cities is outpacing that in the top 10 cities at least. SIPs is a great story because if you look at overall assets and if you take out the corporate assets and look at pure retail assets, you know, it's like a 70-30. 70 is in the top 10, 15 cities and 30 is from the rest. But SIPs is like 50-50. 50% only come from the top cities, 50% actually comes from this part of India which we like to call Bharat. So that's the big change that we have seen, and SIPs, you know, the kind of growth we have seen, 27,000 crores input value per month. And what's really driving this is awareness and the fact that a lot of distribution partners are seeing wealth getting created in small towns, and they are focusing on that and helping those people grow their wealth. So that's, I think, the big difference. So we are seeing India as a whole, whichever city, town, area, north, south, east, west, it's like growing as fast. Earlier it was like dominated by west. Today actually north outpaces west in terms of growth. So you see there's a lot of change happening. Youngsters who have started their jobs want to do a little bit of investment, and technology has really helped. But yes, there's a caution side that you need good advice or good help, and you can't just do it on your own if you don't know this subject. That's one thing we need to be. But it's a very fascinating time to be here because of the growth that we are seeing across board.
Mr. Ramkumar, what has your experience been from where the industry, from where, more importantly, India was 5 years back, and the acceptance levels for financial assets from 5 years back to now?
So, I come from a very small place called Rajkot, which is in Gujarat. And Rajkot being a place which is predominantly known for IPO markets, wherein, in fact, people breathe equity, we call it over there. And secondly, you will be surprised, the density of trading terminals in Rajkot perhaps is more than even Ahmedabad.
I have heard. Yes.
So, giving you that context, you know, people do understand equities over there. Rather, people are more adventurous over there because they really want to experience with their own hands, you know, that...
They're not risk averse.
Yeah, not at all risk averse. And being a Gujarati, you know, to make them understand that someone or some instrument like mutual fund can really make money for you. You do not have to be...
doing anything.
Okay. So over the last 5 years, if I have to say, when the campaign started, mutual fund sahi hai, was in fact a question mark. But now people have believed that mutual fund really sahi hai.
But wo switch kab aaya? Like you're saying, you know, people were more the trading variety. The people were more like, let me punch in the trades. From that, you know, risk on mentality to going for the safe, for the more disciplined style of investing. When did that switch happen?
So I think now, in fact, SEBI has come out with reports stating that 89% people lose money, 91% people lose money. So this has always been the history. Now it is being documented.
समझ कब आई लेकिन?
समझ जब when पैसा खोते हो तभी तो समझ आती है. So I think in our place people have learnt it the hard way. And then when they approach people like us, they come and say, look, I've already lost money. I don't want to discuss more about it. Now you please help me that at least I can averse, you know, or avoid my future losses. That is where our role comes in, you know.
Right, absolutely. Ashish, एक mentality में फर्क आ गया. You know, like Ram Kumar was saying, that you want to be safe, you don't want to lose money. From the traditional India, which only went for chit funds, gold, real estate, do you see more acceptance towards mutual funds? Or for that matter, financial assets?
So, you know, let's go back, you know, we need to go to the why of this. So, just some time back, I was in a village. Which is probably 13 kilometers away from Pakistan. It's in Rajasthan. So I went there for some reason, and what I found there, the Golgappa walas, the small kirana walas, they were all accepting GPay. Right. Now just go back to 2015, just 10 years from now, and probably, you know, हमें कोई बोलता है ऐसा इंडिया में उस गांव में ऐसा होगा, who would have believed it?
No one.
None of us. Now, as sacred as money, if it is accepted in a digital form, जो कि मेरे दिल का एकदम करीब का हिस्सा है, वो आदमी जी पे ले रहा है 70 रुपए 80 रुपए 100 रुपए ले रहा है, एंड दे आर वेरी कंफर्टेबल विद इन देमसेल्फ, दे आर कंफर्टेबल हर जगह आ गया. एंड आई एम टॉकिंग द रिमोटेस्ट ऑफ द विलेज आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ, राइट. सो दैट्स द फर्स्ट पॉइंट. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द फाइनेंशियलाइजेशन और द डिजिटलाइजेशन ऑफ असेट्स is just, I guess, is a follow-up activity or probably just a byproduct of it. And hence, from the money which is now been digitalized to assets being digitalized is no big story, and probably is bound to happen. Now, a number of investors, and what I actually call it the tsunami of investors is going to come and hit this industry. You know, as a manufacturer and as a distributor, probably we'll be short of, you know, manpower, we'll be short of, you know, infrastructure to really cater them, and that's what is actually would be needed. See, India has been always a saver. हम बचपन से हमने घर में गुल्लक देखा है, आदत ही रखा की हुई है. Only thing is probably we were not great investors. Now if you combine this saving habit of ours and combine with the simplicity which mutual fund eventually offers, discipline it offers, all right, that's going to be a rocking combination. Once these people start accepting it, and then they'll start to see the impact of it, and वो word अपने आप में जब बताएंगे कि मैंने अपनी डॉटर की शादी SIP से करी थी या बच्चे की एजुकेशन, that will be where, you know, the curve, the compounding effect is going to just balloon up.
But Pradeep ji, challenge अभी भी होता है, because we know कि India is moving towards a cashless economy. सबके हाथ में फ़ोन है, सब GPay करते हैं, Paytm करते हैं, but क्या इन्वेस्टमेंट भी उसी स्पीड के साथ कर सकते हैं?
जी नहीं ऐसे जी नहीं. बहुत भारी चैलेंजेस है सामने में. आसान कुछ भी नहीं है, आसान कुछ रहा भी नहीं है. 35 साल हो गए हमें म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री को चालू हुए. 1964 में यूनिट स्कीम की यूनिट ट्रस्टेड म्यूचुअल फंड का कंसेप्ट लेकर के आया था, और अभी तक हम शायद 3-3.5% पॉपुलेशन तक पहुंच पाए हैं. 140 करोड़ का देश है, और मुश्किल से 5-5.5 करोड़ हमारे पास यूनिक पैन जो है इन्वेस्टर्स है हमारे. अभी भारत के लोगों तक समृद्धि पहुंची नहीं है. इसका कारण यह है कि फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी हमें पढ़ाई नहीं जाती स्कूल में, कॉलेज में. राइट काइंड ऑफ सेविंग्स क्या है, राइट काइंड ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट्स क्या है, पैसा कहाँ बनेगा, ये हमें बताया नहीं जाता. और हमने क्या देखा है, हमारे दादाजी क्या करते थे, एक लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का पॉलिसी लेते थे, बैंक में जा कर के FD करते थे, या फिर पिताजी क्या करते थे, उन्होंने एड ऑन किया जा कर के पोस्ट ऑफिस में जा कर के कुछ डिपॉजिट कर दिया, कुछ टैक्स सेविंग कर लिया. अब टैक्स देने वाले लोग ही कितने हैं जो सेविंग करेंगे. तो भारत के अंदर में सेविंग्स बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, इन्वेस्टमेंट बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। जिनके पास वेल्थ है, ज़्यादातर वेल्थ कहाँ है? रियल इस्टेट के शेप में है या फिर एंसेस्ट्रल गोल्ड के शेप में है। तो बहुत बड़ा काम करना बाकी है यदि हम चाहते हैं कि ये 5 करोड़ का नंबर हमारे जैसे महादेश में, हम देश नहीं है, महादेश है, हमको 30 करोड़ लोगों तक पहुंचना है, 40 करोड़ लोगों तक पहुंचना है, तो क्या इसी स्टाइल पर पहुंचेंगे? इसी तरीके से पहुंचेंगे? और जब तक हम नहीं पहुंचेंगे, जब तक हम मासेस से पैसा लेकर के नहीं आएंगे, कैपिटल मार्केट में फ्लो नहीं आएगा और हम बहुत बड़ा इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन नहीं कर सकते हैं, बहुत बड़ा फंडिंग हम स्टार्टअप्स को नहीं कर सकते हैं, इनोवेशंस को नहीं कर सकते हैं, और देश में बड़े बड़े सुपर प्रोजेक्ट्स आए बिना कैपिटल के संभव नहीं है। तो काम तो बहुत करना है ऐसा जी, बहुत बड़े बड़े चैलेंजेज है। माइंड सेट ब्रेक करना है कि साहब रियल इस्टेट इज़ नॉट द ओनली इन्वेस्टमेंट, कि इलिक्विड चीज़ है, बेकार सी चीज़ है, आप उसे कंज्यूम नहीं कर सकते हैं, लाइफ स्टाइल नहीं बना सकते हैं। गोल्ड है, कोई इससे लेकर के उसका सेल नहीं करता है, यूज नहीं होता है, खर्च नहीं होता है वो। तो कहीं ना कहीं यदि हमको प्रॉस्पेरिटी लानी है, लोगों के लाइफ स्टाइल को बढ़ाना है, तो जो फाइनेंशियल जो सेविंग्स एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स है, इसके प्रति तो बहुत काम करना बाकी है।
With that, we'll take a very short break, but this special episode of HSBC Mutual Fund presents Informed Investing Season 2, partnered by ET Now, continues after this very short break. Welcome back to HSBC Mutual Fund presents Informed Investing Season 2, partnered by ET Now. What role do you think mutual fund industry can really play? While there's lots that's been done, but lots more that can be done to bring just the awareness as to why financial literacy is important and why you need financial, exposure in your investments and savings.
I'm completely in line with what Pradeep ji said.
Yes.
Can we do this to 40 crores? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
But for that, we need to do some radical changes. Number one, we need to be more vernacular. अगर मैं राम भाई के यहाँ जाता हूँ, गुजराती में बात करना आना चाहिए. अगर मैं आशीष के यहाँ जाता हूँ तो राजस्थानी फ्लेवर आना चाहिए. तो वी शुड बी मल्टीलिंगुअल, जो हम हैं नहीं. अभी रिसेंटली कुछ सालों से शायद 4 या 5 लैंग्वेजेस में सम म्यूचुअल फंड्स हैव स्टार्टेड टेकिंग आउट लिटरेचर. सेकंड, जितना कम जार्गन यूज़ कर सके उतना बेहतर होगा. तीसरी चीज़ है कि अभी अपने पास एक सेट ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स हो गए हैं जो 10 साल, 10 years, 15 years they have been invested and they have good stories to tell. So can we take those stories and amplify them across India so that more people can join the bandwagon? I think these are the couple of things that are required, and most important is what I've seen a big change for the positive is that 5, 7 years, 8 years back, there were very few people who thought distribution can be a career. Today, more people are comfortable because there are a lot of success stories like the gentleman sitting here, that distribution can be a business career by itself. I don't need to do any other business. Earlier it was, I'll do something else and I will also do mutual fund distribution. So that's a big change, and I believe that even the number of distributors will grow substantially as the clients are growing.
So, I'll just add here, in a country like size of India, I think so both fintech and MFD will have to play a very, very crucial role.
Yeah, they have to coexist.
Right. So because it might be theoretical to say कि मैं 500 रुपए के SIP लेकर आऊँगा, it is not humanly possible. शायद मेरा time, money and effort will not be able to come up to that level. Will not. I'll be more practical than just be theoretical here. And that's where the fintech will come, and the fintech will enable this entire industry to actually get to वो विलेज पे पहुंच पाए और वहाँ से किसी की 500 रुपए की SIP जो वो एक्सपेरिमेंट करेगा वो चालू करा दे. And that is where gradually when he experiments something and now he wants to graduate to the next level, that is where you need to use the role of a distributor where hand holding has to be required. When the amount really goes up, it starts to make some sense in his life. That's where you need a counseling, you need someone to be emotional counselor and all those things, because we are dealing in markets. trades, and there are a lot many emotions when we deal with investments. So that is where the role of MFD have to come. So a fintech and MFD are not competitors; they are actually complementers. We all have to coexist. That's a huge market. And number two, as Kailash ji said, is about stories. I have personally shared story of my house help, and how this guy over last 7 years was able to have 8 lakh rupees. जो उसकी पूरी family ने कभी नहीं देखा होगा कि 8 लाख इकट्ठे हुए. And how he actually says and how he is comfortable about the market. So I have hundreds of such examples, and when these examples will be showcased to the world at large, it is कि हम चाहे एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बता दे म्यूचुअल फंड अच्छा है या मैन्युफैक्चरर बता दे म्यूचुअल फंड, वो इतना इम्पैक्ट नहीं करेगा जितना कि वो आम आदमी से बात करेगा, and that's going to make a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
ऐसा जो ये शोकेस करने की बात है ना, ये मुंबई में तो शोकेस हो जाता है, इंग्लिश में तो शोकेस हो जाता है, लेकिन जो कैलाश सर ने कहा वर्नाकुलर में हमारे लोकल टीवी चैनल्स में ऐसा कुछ शोकेस नहीं होता है, ऐसा कोई डिस्कशन नहीं होता है।
हम आएंगे आपके रांची में।
In fact,
please do come.
In fact, now on the education side,
yes,
lot of initiatives by governments are now taking place. Like, in fact, I would like to share that they have introduced a financial awareness program as low as till 8th standard now. You can actually get a 8th standard student certify into a, wherein they have started
a course
wherein it's a certificate course wherein they can take, and they introduce the basic concepts of mutual funds, savings, velocity of money and all. So government is taking a lot of steps, and I think now even on the investor awareness mutual fund sahi hai. Now it looks that now from the celebrities to common man, the drift is slowly happening.
It's picking up, finally, momentum. But Ram, what I'm curious about to know is, how can India become Rajkot? Money is about emotions, like Ashish was saying. It's about, all of us have such a different, personalized and a close connect to money. Sometimes it's so taboo to discuss money. It's such a personal thing. But you come from a place where it's in everyone's DNA. How can we translate that model to India? I'm not talking trading, I'm talking investing.
Okay. So see, you should understand one thing, that when you are coming to a place like Gujarat, okay, where when you are growing up, on the Diwali or the holy blessings which you get are of entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Okay, so at every step or at every stage of life, I am reminded, you grow up, you're going to have your own shop, you're going to have your own factory, you're going to start your own manufacturing and own business mentality. Okay. Previously, a lot of the wealth used to get consumed between roti, kapda or makan. Okay, but now you have a disposable wealth on your hands. You have tax-free incomes now after the recent announcement of like almost 12 lakh rupees for a common household. If 2 people are working,
it's big.
It's big, right? So now people want answers. Where should I put this money? What Pradeep ji said is perfectly right. So they would have already invested into real estate. They have already invested into an ancestral gold or bought some gold, and they are feeling that pinch that this is not growing. Your physical assets are unable to match the pace of financial assets.
Yeah. And inflation adjusted, you may be sitting on a negative return.
Negative return.
Yeah.
So now the new generation is questioning, in fact the parents also, your established saving systems of houses are being questioned. That,
और जब बेचने जाओ seller मिले ना मिले उसी टाइम पे जब चाहिए पैसे
तब. So now the new generation is ready. पापा आप जो कर रहे थे सही है, but that's enough to pay for the needs, not for the luxuries, But now for the luxury, I do need such kind of instruments which will outpace the inflation. And that is where success stories, I remember people planning for dream holidays and people planning for dream cars and retirement planning, where in fact India, we don't know the retirement number. The problem in India is because we do not have a established social security fabric in place, people don't know the retirement number.
And the private sector doesn't even have pension, so people don't realize after 60 suddenly.
So you'll be surprised, in India, people live poor and they die rich. Because you don't know that how much I'm going to consume. So in that pretext, you don't consume. A person gets retired, he said, अभी जो था मेरे पास यही है, इसी को इसमें से ही गुजारा करना है, इसी में से घर चलाना है. So you tone down your expectations, you tone down your needs, And then when you die, you hear that uske 5 crore bank में पड़े थे, and he was living
frugally. Yeah.
Something like
You know, Kailash, that's the thing. It's not about just the rich investing in more money, as the Gujarati community may be all businessmen, but it's also about, you know, like Ashish was saying, a common man can also invest. Someone having 100 rupees in their pocket can also invest. And that 100 over a disciplined and a longer time frame can make you a crorepati or whatever you aspire to.
Absolutely. I think, and all the three gentlemen out here, I know for a fact that they have created these crorepattis from middle class individuals, because 10 years back they started that habit of disciplined investment in that particular family. The other big change which has happened, you know, and this is something very few of us talk about, is that 10 years back, generally most families were single income or 1.5 income.
Yeah.
Why half? I'm saying the spouse typically would be
a
working.
part-time worker.
You know, today the children have grown up. The children are working, so suddenly a family which was in 1.5 income has now become 4 incomes. So the disposable income has gone up. Nobody wants to buy a 30-inch TV anymore. They want to buy big TVs. They don't want one TV in the house. They want 3 TVs in the house.
Everyone should have a TV to themselves.
So this whole aspiration, and this is not so true for the big cities. It's more prevalent in the smaller town, because they consume OTT. They see the lifestyle, they want to live that kind of lifestyle, and they are willing to take those risks, unlike in the past.
So, Ashish, just wanted to understand from you, where do you think is the disconnect in tier 3 and 5 cities? Do you think it's more about awareness? Do you think it's more about the disposable income to invest in hand? Where is the disconnect?
I guess the knowledge part is the only disconnect, I guess. It is not about income. There is a humongous amount of income back in tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 cities. You know, people have money. It's about their acceptance level, which is rising every day by day. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, you see, I'll tell you. In 2004, when I started in Jaipur, J never stood for Jaipur. It stood for jewelry or jameen. No, you know. So, हाँ, बस वो J मतलब jewelry, J मतलब जमीन. Investors के अलावा कुछ होता ही नहीं था, right? But today, when I talk of, there are investors, there are people, there are families जो अपनी जमीन बेचना चाहते हैं, जो अपनी jewelry बेचना चाहते हैं, and then they actually want to come up and say, Ashish ji, now they are not talking in terms of maybe 100, 200, 500. I'm talking those middle class families जो अपना 1 करोड़ का portfolio जो real estate से बेचा है. पहले वो होता था रियल म्यूचुअल फंड से निकल के रियल एस्टेट में जाता था. अब एक्चुअली में 90% केसेस में वो रियल एस्टेट निकल के म्यूचुअल फंड में आ रहा है. एंड दैट्स अ ट्रेंड दैट आई एम सीइंग ऑन द ग्राउंड.
राइट. प्रदीप जी, लास्ट वर्ड्स. ऑफ कोर्स वी विल वर्क ऑन रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस. चैलेंजेस हैं जैसे हर चीज में होते हैं, बट व्हाट डू यू थिंक कुड बी रांची 5 years from now? The person from the small cities, acceptance, awareness, like Ashish said, time के साथ सब कुछ हो जाएगा. You know, that conversion in the mindset will happen.
मैं यदि नंबर्स बोलूँगा ना तो आपको बड़ा अच्छा लगेगा सुन करके कि आज से 5 साल के बाद में रांची कम से कम जहाँ पर खड़ा है उससे कम 10 times होगा. तो नंबर्स तो बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है.
राजकोट तक कब पहुँचेगा?
मैं बता रहा हूँ, नंबर्स तो बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है ना अपने को कि 10 times हो जाएगा 5 years के अंदर में. हमारा स्टेट एज ऑन डेट 80,000 करोड़ के एसेट अंडर मैनेजमेंट म्यूचुअल फंड पे खड़ा है. देश हमारा खड़ा है 75 लाख करोड़ पर. हम 1% पे खड़े हैं आज के दिन. तो हमारे यहाँ जो पोटेंशियल और जो काम करने की आवश्यकता है नेक्स्ट 5 year में, हमको 20 times कैसे पहुँचे, 30 times कैसे पहुँचे, इतना गैप है, इतनी जगह है वहाँ पर. हम काम नहीं कर रहे हैं छोटी जगहों के ऊपर में. सिर्फ 2 लाख डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एक्टिव है यहाँ पर अभी इस देश के अंदर में. 140 करोड़ को एड्रेस करना है. सिखाना तो सबको है ना. हम भले ही टारगेट रखते हैं हम 40 करोड़ को लेके आएंगे, सिखाना तो सबको है. तो 2 लाख डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर MFD जो है बहुत सफिशिएंट नहीं होंगे. डिजिटल डेफिनेटली बहुत काम करेगा.
आई एम सुपर कॉन्फिडेंट एंड सुपर ऑप्टिमिस्टिक ऑन द स्मॉलर टाउन्स एंड सिटीज इन इंडिया. देयर आर माइल्स टू गो. But the way the development is happening, the way the number of people are entering this investment part, I am super optimistic.
Absolutely.
And I'm very confident that the so-called Bharat will surpass the so-called India when it comes to investments.
Well,
at the
with
end of
such
the day.
passionate MFDs, I'm sure it will. Thank you all of you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On that note, it's a wrap on HSBC Mutual Fund Presents Informed Investing Season 2, partnered by ET Now. Thank you very much for watching.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.